So the third book I'm going to talk about is the book Encounter by Jane Yolen, and this is actually a picture book by this author. So this book is a story about when Christopher Columbus landed on the island of San Salvador in 1492. So when he arrived there, he found the Taino Indians. So this story is from the point of view from one of these boys. And so this boy tries to warn his people about welcoming these strangers, because they seem to be more interested in the natives' goods rather than their friendships. And so at the end of the story, it goes to where the boy is now old and he's reflecting and looking back on his experience. And so he explains how Christopher Columbus coming led to the destruction of his people and their culture. And so he explains how awful these colonists treated them and how much disease and sickness and death and blood was spread to them when this happened. So I think one of the most captivating parts of this book is the images that are within the text. So this book has very rich text and language to really engage the students in, as well as the beautiful imagery within it. So between the text and the pictures, I think there's a lot for students to dig in and to really analyze. So I chose to use this book with my students because I think it's a great way to incorporate a period in history with reading. And so this book allows students to see into a different perspective than the master narrative of how great Christopher Columbus was, and kind of the stories that are normally associated with Christopher Columbus. So I really think that this book gives voice to people that aren't always heard. And so I think it's really important to look at things from multiple perspectives and viewpoints to kind of try to get more of a full picture of what happened, especially those voices that were silent and that didn't feel that they had a space that they could share their feelings about what happened. So I really think that this is a great text to expose students to diverse literature, and I think that this book has a lot of truth about the events that happened in 1492, and I plan to use it as a historical discussion piece that can really relate to modern day society. And I also like how students are able to relate to the young boy who is a character, as he's someone similar to their age, so it makes history more interesting to learn about.